find that Bilam, he doesn't leave a stone unturned to be able to curse Klal Yisrael, and Hashem doesn't allow him. And although the Gemara tells us that there's a certain moment of wrath every day, and if Bilam would have cursed the Jews at that moment, Chas v'Sholom, it would have destroyed Klal Yisrael. Hashem withheld his wrath that moment shouldn't come about. So the Torah tells us he built 7 altars on behalf of Balak, and he had said he should bring 7 oxen and 7 rams. On each one of the altars, 1 on each. God appears to him. V'yikra Elokim el Bilam v'yomei lo v'shivas hamizbachos orachti. So he says to God, I've arranged and set 7 altars. Va'al par v'ayil b'mazbeach. On each one of the altars, I sacrificed an ox, a bull, and a ram. So he says, Shivas ha-mizbachos. You could have said Shiva mizbachos. What's Shivas ha-mizbachos? There's something special about these altars. So Rashi cites Chazal. Omer lefarov. He said to Hashem, Bilam, Avoseim shalelu, the forefathers of this people, Bonu lefonech shiva mizbachos. In conjunction among all 3 of them, they only built 7 altars. And I, myself, are equivalent to all 7 combined, all 3 combined. Avram bona arba, Avram built 4, Yitzchak bona echad, Yitzchak built 1, Yaakov bona shtayim. So I am the equivalent to all 3 patriarchs. Therefore, my korban should have special value. So he'd say, could he compare himself to the Avos HaKadoshim? But factually, the Gemara tells us that because Balak had brought these korbanos, it was not idolatry, it was not paganism. Although it was with the objective to destroy Klal Yisrael, he married Rus HaMoaviyah. Rus HaMoaviyah, Rus the Moabite, was a granddaughter of Balak because he did the special mitzvah. And from here we learn, Mitoch Shlo L'Shmo Bo L'Shmo, although it was not with the proper intent, it was with an ulterior motive to destroy Klal Yisrael, nevertheless it has value. You see, he married Rus HaMoaviyah. But again, why was he off? No relevance. Not only because of who the Avos were in terms of being tzaddikim compared to what he was. What was different? So I once mentioned the Mor Nevuchim, the Rambam writes, what is the value of karbonos? So he explains that the value of karbonos is that a person has a need to serve a higher power. So if we would not have the outlet of karbonos, God forbid, that expression may go to paganism. So therefore Hashem gives us the outlet of karbonos, bring sacrifices. The Ramban rejects it vehemently, attacks it, says impossible. The concept of karbonos, of sacrifices, to coalesce the various energies which come into existence. That's what it's about. It has nothing to do with what the Rambam says. So Rameir Simcha with Vince goes to explain that the Ramban misunderstood Rambam in Mor Nevuchim. The Rambam Mor Nevuchim is speaking at a time that we were permitted to build altars on our rooftops in our backyards and bring a korban outside of the Mishkan. Outside the Mishkan. Why? We have a Mishkan. The answer is because if we're not able to express this expression of servitude, God forbid, you may go to idolatry. You express it within paganism. But of course, in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, where the Shekhinah was there, there's no question the Rambam concurs with the Ramban. That's what it's about. The Rambam in Mor Nevuchim speaks specifically what we call Bama. That's a private altar, there were certain times that it was permitted on your rooftop in your backyard. Now, Chazal tell us that before the building of the Mishkan, where was the location of the Shekhinah? Location of divine presence, it was exactly where the Avos HaKadoshim were, where the patriarchs were. And it's expressed in the words of Chazal, Hein Hein HaMerkava. They are the chariot. They are the location of the Shekhinah. Now, why in the Mishkan or Beis HaMikdash, why is the concept of korban to coalesce these forces? Of course, it's Lifnei Hashem. You bring the korban before God because the Shechinah is there. The Avos HaKadoshim, when they brought a korban, they built a Mizbeach. That Mizbeach, that altar, was no different than in the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash. Therefore, what was the korban? It wasn't an expression of servitude. It was Lefnei Hashem. So they were able to activate these forces and coalesce them to bring about nothing less than being in the Mishkan or the Beis HaMikdash, where the Shekhinah, where the divine presence was. Bilam had no relevance to understand that. You do a perfunctory act. You bring an animal for God. It's the same. I built 7, they each one built less than I am the equivalent of all of them. You have no relevance to what they were. They were Lefnei Hashem because God was with them, and you're only doing this perfunctory act of bringing an animal as a sacrifice.